My name is Fofanah. I was born in 1950, and both my parents are dead. They passed away many years ago. In fact, my dad passed away in 1972, my mom 1983. I have 6 siblings. 3 of them passed away. The last one that passed away is 2011. I was born in McKinney, and I went to school in a Roman Catholic school called St. Francis. And in 1957, I went to school. In my country, when you go to school, your parents have to pay for your fees. So my education actually depends on my parents providing the fees. In 1969, I do remember very well when everybody was talking about America going to the moon. It was a fantastic thing. That's what we thought. And I started to work in 1969, late 69. I found a job. I was working for a company called Sierra Leone Selection Trust. It's a diamond mining company. In 1970, I resigned because I wanted to further my education. In 1972, I was employed by another company, and they sent me to college to study mechanical engineering because they employed me as a supervisor in training. The company went into bankruptcy, so I was laid off. In 1976, I left Sierra Leone to study mechanical engineering through an agreement between Sierra Leone government and the Soviet Union at that time. And I studied in Astrakhan, a city in the south of Russia, mechanical engineering, ship's power installation, and we did a lot of stuff. The kind of education you have in Russia is not like here. The way we take exam, in fact, it's not like multiple choice question. There you have to discuss any topic you study. You have to give an example and why it's important. In 1982, I graduated with a master's degree in mechanical engineering. And from there, I married my fiancée Tatiana Fofanah, and we immigrated to Germany. Initially, where I wanted to go was Norway, but we couldn't find a place to settle there. So eventually we ended up in Germany, where my son was born. And in 1984, we left Germany, immigrated to the United States permanently. And I've been living here all this time. After being here for nearly 20 years, I went back to my country in 2014. I went back to Sierra Leone in 2012. I came back 2014. And when I came back, my children told me that people are posting on YouTube that the earth is flat. It's amusing to me because I thought, these people may not know what they are talking about. But I was just curious. I was interested to know what they are talking. The more I read or watched these videos, everything I've learned in college, in school, and some of the things I've been thinking about the universe came flooding to me. It seems as if what I've been thinking, questioning the concept of a globe, long before, in fact, I went to university, I started to realize that what we are being told about the universe has to be wrong. There's no way. So from there, in 2021, at the beginning of 2021, I started doing research. The reason why I started the research is people are posting questions, and there are people who are trying to explain. But as I listened to what the explanation was, it's flawed. There's no way what they are saying is true. Based on the scientific knowledge I have, they're trying to edit information that, it's ridiculous. Science does not support that. And then that's the time I decided that I'm going to write a book. In the beginning, I was just responding to making comments about what their explanation about science, about the earth, has to be wrong. But later I said, all my comments I post on YouTube don't make sense. People don't read them. I decided to say, I'm going to write a book to explain what the universe is. And the more I thought about it, the more ideas started to flow in me. Eventually, I wrote a book in 2022, and it is called The Solar System as You Know It Does Not Exist. Now I'm planning to write a sequel to that. And the title of that book is The Universe as You Know It is Geocentric. It cannot be heliocentric. From 1976 to 1982, I studied in Astrakhan, and I got a master's degree in mechanical engineering. It's during that time I was writing my final dissertation. I went to Murmansk 2 times, during winter and during summer. And I experienced those dark nights or dark days and white night. During that time, the white night is you have 24/7, no night. Dark days, you have 24/7, no day. In 1976, through an agreement between Sierra Leone government and the Soviet Union government, I was sent to Soviet Union at that time, which is today Russia, and a city called Astrakhan. There I studied from 1976 to 1982. In Russia, there are 6-day class, they are not 5. That's the reason. For a master's degree, you do it 6 years instead of usually, from 1976 to 1982, that would be 6 years, right? So I graduated with a master's degree in mechanical engineering. In fact, during that time, I went to a city called Murmansk, the largest city in the Arctic Circle. There I experienced the white night. What's a white night? A white night is when you have 24 hours day, complete day. A day is composed of daylight and night. But in the Arctic Circle, during summer, you have 24-hour day. There is no sunset. You can just see this sun going round and round and round. And during that same time, in December, I went back there for some kind of business when it was winter. There's complete darkness for 1 month. So I experienced the phenomena that most people have not experienced during that time. For you to experience those things, you have to be in summer, June, July, in either Russia or north of Norway, or you are there in December. Those are the only two times you can get white night on the, how you call it, the night, the day in which you have no sunlight, complete darkness and complete daylight. So that atmosphere I lived there, the year I graduated, I was writing my dissertation, so I went there to do some practicals. They sent me on a ship. I came back. I graduated in 1982, and from there I traveled to Norway. From Norway I went to Denmark and eventually Germany. From Germany with my family, where my son was born, and then we decided to travel to the United States, immigrate to the United States. That's the reason for that. I never felt comfortable living there. And so this is a country of freedom, so I decided to come to the United States. When I arrived here, I was working for a company, but then I decided to do physician assistant course, so I can be a physician assistant. So I took all the subjects. Unfortunately, the subjects I thought are the ones that will give me some hard time. I did 3 of them: anatomy, physiology, and microbiology. Those are the 3 subjects. I passed. Then I did those courses in Pasadena Pasadena College here. And when I finished, I wanted to apply to the university. They said those 3 subjects, I should have passed them in no later than 2 years backward. So they said, no, you have to do them again. I didn't want to do them. So therefore, I took a course in real estate, a broker's course. I passed it. I got my license. And then from then on, I started working as a real estate agent. But during that time also, I was working in the LA Unified School District from 1992 to 2014. During that time, the academic setup in which you do, I should have said that earlier, in which you study in Russia is different, in Soviet Union is different from the one in the United States. In the United States, the test is based on multiple choice question, or you hardly have time to think, because most of the information that you telling people you can already get it in the exam. Over there in the Soviet Union, when you want to, you study a subject, they want you to tell them what you understood. So there is no multiple choice question. When you go to take the exam, the whole curriculum, or let me say the program for that year, is divided into 100 questions. And from those 100 questions, they select 4 and put them in a paper. And besides those 4, they give you 2 questions that you have to calculate and give them an answer. It's different from here. I don't know how universities, the one that I know I've gone to, most of the things we do here in the United States, either multiple choice question, you hardly have time to do research unless you are focusing on that. But the way exams are conducted in Soviet Union in those days is different from the way they are conducted right here. I know that. I don't know if there are changes have occurred there right now. Now, the book I wrote, The Solar System as You Know It Does Not Exist. When you read it, don't read it as a storybook. Each chapter is presented as evidence to support my theory. So if you do not understand one section, go to the next. It may be or may not be connected to the previous. It may be or may or not connected to the next. So each chapter in its totality, try to read it and understand it. If you don't understand it, go to the next. It's like presenting evidence. They don't have to be related. Each one will support one fact. The theory. I put this, I forgot. Okay. Yeah, that's how you read it from one chapter to another, but don't think the next chapter should be backed by the previous one, or it's going to be backed by the one before that. Read it, each one individually, and get sense from it. That's how you're going to understand the book. I put a lot of stories there to back up in terms of analogy, allegory, but most of the things that I wrote in that book, each chapter is just in its totality will give you evidence to back what I'm saying.